to get the connection here. Anyway, just laying down here enjoying some sun. It is winter, so the sun is not that powerful, but whatever. It's better than nothing. In Denmark we don't get that much sun. So anyway, so in regards to the corona, so here's some tips I would think that might help on that issue, that they are so scared about. Some vitamin C, and don't get it in regards of made from grain. Get something that is not made from grain, so get some vitamin C and some beta glucan to in regards to the immune system, and some colloidal silver. I think that would be three things. Then, and of course, take a good vitamin pill as well, so keeping healthy, guess that's the best that I can do just on the fly, if the researchers really was not in the pocket of the medical mafia, of course this would not be a problem, but of course they have to scare the whole population, and of course not just give people that might, something that might just, they're working on a vaccine, right? So they can shoot, things into you and scare the whole population and all that. And it just continues with the scare thing and all that. And so again, some vitamin C, some beta glucan, and then some colloidal silver. And I think you should be, at least that's some choices I would think of in regards to this, but it's like, reading that 82% of the people don't even realize they have anything, because there's nothing, there's no symptoms of very, little change in regards to that state. Now, that's of course is interesting in regards of checking people then if they don't even realize they themselves have been contaminated. I do wonder if, you never know in regards to the medical mafia. I don't really trust them much, But any case, that was three things that I would consider, and of course a vitamin pill with your meal, so... I have, just, one could just take a vitamin pill with each meal or something like that, whatever, just, any case, at least, I'll follow the inscription in regards to 1 a day or something like that, at least, get some natural stuff, that, because our food sources are ruined in so many ways and all that. Well, anyway, I think that might actually do it. But of course, they of course want to have money, right? And I read an article in regards of, the first ones that, finds out a vaccine will earn, huge amount of, money. And they told about the last one in regards of, it was like 14 billion. I'm not sure if that was dollars or something like that. That was a huge amount, And the article said, if, the first one that finds in regards of a vaccine can look forward to a great bonus, So I would just first consider, before anyone shoots anything into me, what is actually in the vaccine, Could you give me a note, telling me what is actually in the vaccine? Is there, for example, what was it called in English? What kind of demonic bullshit is in the vaccine? In the first, what is it called? The thing that they put in thermometers. What is it called? I can't remember. But anyway, that's weird things in these vaccines and all that. So I would just be people are just trusting. They don't ask about what is in the vaccine before actually getting shot with things and all that. It's incredible how trusting we people are in regards of these so-called authorities, which tends to murder people to the left and the right. Think about, in regards to the great business of so-called cancer, Incredible. The cure is just around the corner, right? Has been since like nearly forever, right? Yeah, it's just incredible. Yeah, the cure is we just need a couple of more millions and billions and, oh my. They're apparently not doing a really good job, right? Because they're saying to you, oh, the cure is just around the corner. Apparently that is not true, and that has not been true for a long, long time. Because, well, of course, there's no money in finding a cure, of course. And they are going after those people actually helping people. And so they can sell their own demonic bullshit and murder people to the left and the right and take all their money from them. It is a devious system. And so many of the other things, What a wicked world we live in. And now all this corona might this and corona might that, and can't even go to the swimming hole and have a swim. Oh, I might be contaminated. Well, I'll drink some colloidal silver and take my best bet on that, okay? Who are they to decide if I want to, be in a position that I might contaminate myself? Oh, give me a break. It's just, Anyway, so I don't really feel much in regard, I think it's stupid, Might tell people the truth in regards of how you actually, fix this in regards of, for example, those machines. I think it was China or something like that. $10,000 for, pretty much, silver, ions, being sprayed out in the room with some, the other thing, what's it called? And, taking care of the coronavirus and other things and all that. And you can just make some colloidal silver pretty much, for nearly nothing, which of course is a problem, of course, if people knew about that and if it actually works in regards of, well, there's not really any money in that, And if there's no money, the medical mafia is not interesting because mammon is apparently worth more than people, in these days. And we can just see that in regards of cancer and diabetes and, money, It's a big money business, And of course, then we have, where people lose their mind as well and all that. Yeah. Anyway, because we don't know what cancer is, because we don't... Oh yeah, how is it that you give cancer to mice and rats and rabbits, test animals and all that? How do you give diabetes to these animals, How do you make them, have problems in regards of their memory and all that, It's just, so you can give the animals these, things, but you don't know what it is. You don't know what the cause is for it, but you know how to do it, to make test animals. And what a wicked world, Outrageous wicked world. It's insane, I guess money blinds. Money blinds on so many levels. And it's so wicked, I read something in regards of these, abortion firms as well, in regards of, getting together in regards of, so it's a whole wicked system in regards of evolution, promoting, what is it called? Promoting, what is it called when you are sexual, that's a word for it when you are just pretty much, talking about promoting that, because then, of course, women will become pregnant, and when they become pregnant, oh, there's a business for it, right? Yeah. And money talks, apparently. Who cares about people, in our days, let's just, this is disgusting. But then again, you see the links here and there in regards of it, and it wouldn't really be a surprise that the Satanists, they, people are not, so many people are just disgusting people, And you might think that, there would never be anyone actually doing that. But yeah, there are a lot of liars, deceivers, murderers, and bullshitters, and whatever out there, and that loves more money more than, more than people. Yeah. Anyway, it's just so can't come out. Can't go out swimming tomorrow because someone closed the swimming. I'll give me a break anyway. So yeah, that would be three things that I would consider. Instead, the government closing everything down. They should, rather, if is that the best that they can do? Is that the best that the system can do? Is just to close everything down? Really? 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 Well, I guess it's typical, like the Food Administration bullshitters, where they're keeping real raw milk from the user. Oh, yeah, have to totally destroy the milk before it gets to the user, right? And of course, in regards of scaring people away from cinnamon, and what was those other things in regards of this? Oh yeah, Food Administration, where they're keeping, natural things away from the people. Hunting down those it's just incredible, Yeah. So yeah, and we are pretty much ignorant in so many ways, and it is, and the thing is, the problem is, I guess, is that people always want to sell the truth. You have so many people taking things and all that, and then they begin to sell the truth. And it's, in a world that it's not really hungering for truth. If you're selling the truth, it's not really getting out to that many people because those that are interested in it might not have the resources to actually get it. And so, it just blocks it it's very sad, Well, yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. But anyway, that would be my three suggestions, at least for now, some vitamin C. There's something called liposomal or something like that. It's said to be able to better uptake and all that. But, you can, I guess you could just take some more. At some point you will get to the equilibrium and then you will go to the toilet, so you have had too much. Now, that's a side effect of taking too much vitamin C. You will end up on the toilet. It's not a big deal, just, So, and if you take it like 500 grams, after, a little, here and a little there, over if you're trying it out, you will know when you get to, the point where you are close to getting to the white throne in regards of the toilet, or the toilet throne, or the pot. So then you just stop if you were going for that anyway, if you're going to get to that point. But anyway, and of course beta-glucan, in regards of, fixing, strengthening your immune system, getting that going. And then of course colloidal silver, that is seemingly set to actually take care of the issues, as well. So that's at least three to just take a little of that, and a vitamin pill of some kind, just to get a little of, whatever, vitamins that you might, need. Yeah. I guess that wouldn't be so bad. Anyway, I guess that's all for me. Yeah, just laying down and enjoying the sun here. Well, of course, the sun is moving pretty quickly at the moment, and of course, I don't really have a very low space in regards, or a very low time in regards of actually having the sun. No, actually, I should move a little more. Seconds. Oops, just going to roll a little here. There we go. So, it's not that long that I have the sun here, and in regards of not going through glass and all that, and I've opened the doors behind me, so the sun doesn't go through the glass. That's in regards of UVA and UV. Of course, it is, of course, it's more like spring, I guess. We're getting into spring, and of course, what is it called? Of course, it's not that strong and all that, so I'm not sure it's going to do anything in regards to vitamin D and all that. But at least, it's nice to just feel the sun, just yeah. So yeah. Did we lose? Oh, there we go. Okay, just closed down. So that's pretty good. Pretty good. Laying here and enjoying that, and was enjoying in regards of listen to an Iranian that became a Christian and all that, and talking about what they believe in regards to the Mohammedan faith. And really, it is the same with the Roman Catholics and the Mohammedans. Those people that comes out of those systems are really the ones that needs to, take those system on. Because people like me, for example, I can talk about Roman Catholicism and all that, but I haven't been a Roman Catholic, and thereby there's some experience that I don't have, while Roman Catholics coming out of the system do have those, and they know, they know things by experience. And of course, I don't have that. And the same thing with the Mohammedans. You can attack this filthy religion in regards of that Muhammad he was a false prophet and all that, and but I just know the groundwork. I know enough to deny Muhammad as he was a false prophet. He was a stinking wolf. It's pretty clear. He denied that Jesus was the Son of God. He denied the divinity in regards of his execution, and of course thereby his resurrection and all that. So it's pretty easy to deny Muhammad, and of course Roman Catholicism having their false cookie Jesus, So the Mohammedans have this false fictive version of Jesus being only a prophet, and even if they have titles that actually goes back to the Bible about Jesus, the Roman Catholics, have a false version as well in regards to the cookie Jesus. So you have the cookie Jesus and you have the only prophet Jesus. These two versions are both false, and 3 billion people are following along in these stupidities. Now that's just how it is, and I would of course suggest anyone to repent. If you're part of that, one of these two wicked systems and all that. Two sides of the same wicked coin. Of course Rome is the head. But anyway, so now apparently we're closed down, and and they screaming about this and that and all that. Well, maybe they should just give the solution to people. If colloidal silver can help people, well, maybe you should tell the people about colloidal silver then, maybe tell the people just get some, whatever, instead of scaring them to death. And now, of course, I don't have a television, but I would not be surprised that, because usually when you listen to people, when you stop looking at the TV, you find out that people pretty much are just repeaters of what is in the TV, the big, great TV, and they talk about these stupidities that comes out of the, the square box on the wall, and it's just, and yeah. Well, anyway, so, it's probably going wild on the the box, at least just on the internet. It's hard to not run into, well, at least if you're on Facebook or some of the other bigger things. Yeah, so anyway, that's just my view on it. I think we could do so much good in regards of health, but because there's no money in educated people and healthy people, well, it's just this whole wicked system, and we could do so much, in the other direction, and yet people are not interested in it. It is so sad, and I'm sure we have a lot of brainies out there, and yet hold it back by money, and writing your name on some contract where you're not allowed to this and that, and oh yeah, you get the excuse of, we're too many people in the world anyway, so that's no excuse, and of course it's the same excuse that the Nazis used and all that, and doesn't make it right just because it's your job, That's the worst excuse ever for doing something that is evil, and there's no excuse, It's no excuse. If you're murdering someone and you're getting paid and you just say, oh, it's just my job, well, maybe you should find some other job, If you find out that the whole system is corrupt and you stay in it, that's pretty bad, But of course, for example, a doctor, right? Being educated for many, many years, and you risk getting your license taken and all that if you're actually standing for some truth, and thereby, you don't want to do that because, you have a family and all that, and you don't, well, you like the statues, you like the money, you like them, and so forth, And of course, it would be education down the drain if you're going to be, fired and removed from the system. So, again, they pretty much have people, by the balls. And of course, it's not only doctors, it's on so many other. I remember talking to one in my past. He had been part of some kind of industry thing and all that. And I talked about these things, and he was agreeing to me, agreeing with a lot of it, and then he was, beginning to tell me something, and then he shut up, and apparently they are not, to have these where you're not allowed to tell what is whatever, I can't remember what they're called, but anyway, it's just so he knew, and he knew that was things, inside, but he wouldn't talk about it again, but it's just whatever, well, it's nice. It's nice weather. Look at this, just wonderful weather at the moment. Can't complain about that. So I guess I'll go on. I don't have much more to say. I guess it's. I think it's insane that they just closed down all these countries. I think it's way overkill. And if that is the best that the government can, of course, the government is just down the drain. It's been down the drain for many, many years. I thought that when I was younger, I didn't really bother much about, because I thought, they were probably doing a pretty good job, right? There's just corruption everywhere. You find out there's corruption everywhere, and it's just sad. Anyway, they should stand for the people, and they're getting, all these big salaries and money for this and money for that and all that. It should be an honor to be in the position in government. That should be an honor position, Not because you're getting a lot of money. It should be a thing of honor to take part in the Danish government for the people and all that, That's my view anyway on it. It shouldn't be a money thing. And they say, we have to have these high salaries so we are getting the best of the best. Well, maybe we should get someone with some heart instead of greedy money gain, Anyway. So instead of closing down the country, maybe they should have given the people some solutions to actually battle against it, instead, But of course, I guess we'll wait for this miraculous vaccine, and I guess the state will then, put out a huge amount of resources on behalf of the people, right? So we can all get a so-called free vaccine, while no people are asking what is actually in that vaccine before you inject this bullshit into my body, Anyway, yeah. And the same thing in regards to antibiotic, right? What is antibiotic? Well, it's fungus poison. You're eating fungus poison. And you might not get any problems at the beginning. It might come down the years, Because you took, fungus poison, that they say is medicine. And killing all your good bacteria and your... Oh, it's just incredible. What a wicked world, you know? What a wicked world. Oh. So, laying pretty good here on the floor, I guess. So, yeah, and the sun is pretty good. I mean, it's just not bad. So yeah, I guess that was 3 suggestions, I would think, you know. But there's other people out there knowing a lot more in regards. It's so interesting that things that you can't, you know, put patent on, what do you call patent? I guess a patent in English. Then it's not really, you know, they're taking away the understanding of good, nutritious food. And we are getting into health issues here and there. They're promoting in regards of drinking alcohol. You know, that's promoted so many places, which can give a lot of health issues. You know, so many wicked things are promoted in our society, and we're just heading for, yeah, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. You know, it's just incredible. The whole society is just upside down. And of course, we can thank Rome for that. And, you know, you have these people being taught in the schools, but if the children are not being taught what the parents actually think they're being taught, well, then you can control what the future generation will believe and think and know about and all that. But, you know, they have ruined so many things. They have taken away so much that we should know. Us Protestants, you know, Protestants are the biggest danger in regards to the Antichrist. Because the Protestants protested the Antichrist. They knew who the Antichrist was, you know. The greatest enemy for Rome was the Protestants. Because they knew. Now, how many so-called Protestants in our days know anything? It's so many that knows near to nothing. You know, going to a, you know, Lutheran thing, congregation in the, I think it was in the spring, you know, last spring or something like that. And going, that's nearly a year ago, you know, I guess, well, going out, you know, closing to a year, you know, going around and asking these people, these so-called, you know, they're saying they're Lutherans, right? This was a Lutheran gathering, and they didn't know anything. They didn't know, and there was one man that knew something, you know, that began to sing this children's song of Martin Luther from 1542, and he said it had been changed. Oh, really? Yeah, it really. Yeah, I found it changed in both the English, the Danish, and the German version. Oh, yeah, they just took out the second line and put in something else. Why would they do that? Oh, maybe it's because it's, you know, proclaiming the 2 greatest arch enemies according to Martin Luther. And who could that possibly be? And people will maybe say, oh, it must be the Jews. Well, no, it's not the Jews. The Jews are not mentioned in regards to these 2 arch enemies. No, it's number 1, the Roman Catholics, and number 2, the Mohammedans. Oh, have we forgotten that? I think we have. I think we have forgotten a lot of things. And if we just go back to read some good old Protestant books, we will know that every Protestant knew who the Antichrist was in the past, and yet in our days we don't know anything. And the question is, why are we not told the truth anymore? Well, maybe the Jesuits, in regards to their ecumenical bullshit, are, you know, doing an amazingly good job for Satan, you know. So yeah. It's very sad. You know, also in regards to this freedom of religion, you know, bullshit. Instead of just going by the Bible, you know, there's one God and one God to follow after. And if you're going to have freedom of religion, you are now allowing that you are allowed to worship the devil. And of course, when you see it in regards, as far as I could see here in Denmark, the Freemasons gets this huge building, you know, just after we get freedom of religion. And of course, the Roman Catholics can get into the nation, and we have a school of Ignatius Loyola, who was the first general, also called the Black Pope. You know, he's the shadow of the White Pope, the white great stinking Pope, also known as the Pope. And here, the shadow is, the general. And Ignatius Loyola was the first of those. And he was into spiritual bullshit and all that. And we have a school of Ignatius Loyola right in Copenhagen. And of course, we now have freedom of religion, so now it's okay to worship the devil and do the abomination of the mass and all the other things. And I would suggest we destroy a lot of statues, do some iconoclasm, not only in regards to the Roman Catholic churches. I would probably suggest that we actually destroy some buildings, both in regards of the Mohammedan meeting houses, destroy them all, and of course the Roman Catholic churches, destroy them all. And we'll also might look into the Lutheran churches, and we can rebuild some better buildings that are humble and that will serve the purpose of the scripture, of reading and studying and taking care of the poorest in society. And I have some ideas for that, But I think that would be a good thing to start out with. And all the other pagan bullshit that is standing around in this nation. Let's have some iconoclasm and destroy the bullshit that is standing around here, and close down also, of course, the Freemasons, of course, should not be allowed. And of course, the Ignatius Loyola School should, of course, be closed down and maybe also bulldozed. Might be a good idea as well. And of course, the same thing with the Freemason building, bulldoze it, bulldoze the whole building, this satanic bullshit institution. And I think we're then getting there, there's probably a lot of other things that we could do that would be positive. But I guess we could take that as things goes, But yeah, that's would be a good start, We don't want any filthy religion of Mohammedan in this nation. We don't want Roman papist, in regards to the mass bullshit. And of course, the Lutheran state church needs to change as well. It needs to, what shall we say, revise itself. Or actually, it might be, what do you call it? It needs reform. And why does it need reform? Well, because we haven't moved much these last 500 years. Well, actually, we have moved in the other direction. We actually have, instead, we got some steps in the right direction, and then it's like here and no more. No. That's not how things work. We need to continue to pull rope from Satan and all that. And the Lutheran Church still believes in the cookie Jesus, and they're still kneeling in front of an idol and taking this, cookie Jesus that they still believe becomes, is the literal body of Christ, which is utterly nonsense. And this is one of the reasons why we still have this doctrine, is because Martin Luther didn't cast all the he did still have some, he was grown up as a Roman Catholic, and thereby he still had some leaven. Most of the reformers was former Roman Catholics. But we have a lot of people that understood that this cookie was just symbolic, that breaking the bread and drinking the wine is symbolic for what Jesus Christ did for us once and for all, nearly 2,000 years ago. It doesn't become his body, sinews, blood, and so forward, and all that, whatever bullshit. So. And you can see in the churches that still, where they on the what do you call it? On the thing, they have this table where there's an idol standing, and then around it, like in a horseshoe, people are kneeling in front of this. They're kneeling, and then they're getting the cookie, which the priest says, "Oh, this is the body of Jesus," or Christ or whatever. I can't remember the exact words, but anyway, and that's bullshit. It's not, They're not even breaking the bread, Melanchthon knew it was symbolic. Zwingli knew it was symbolic. Andreas knew it was symbolic. Wycliffe knew it was symbolic, and the guy in Denmark, Niels Hemmingsen, knew it was symbolic. Many knew it was symbolic, and of course, in regards of England, they took it to, further, and even the king had to denounce these doctrines of Roman Catholicism. if he wanted the position of the king. If he wanted to have the, before he got, before he was allowed to be the king, he needed to, say that he didn't believe in these things, like the cookie Jesus and the Mass, the abomination of the Mass. Now, Martin Luther did understand that it was a great blasphemy in regards of the Roman Catholic Mass, and yet he still he was still struggling with this, and he didn't go as far as he should. And there was a lot of conflicts, and it was a huge subject at the Reformation or the protest, because the Reformation failed because you couldn't reform the Roman Catholic Church. And we see the Council of Trent and all the curses they put on the Protestants and all that. And you see the Jesuit oath and all that. Our enemy is, the Jesuits are the special soldiers of Satan, and we have no idea who they are anymore. And now, ecumenical union with the puppet of the devil, which is in regards of the so-called Pope, Oh, but he's such a sweetheart and this and that. Bullshit. He's the greatest wolf in sheep clothing. Now, of course, there's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing out there, but this whole wicked system is wicked. It's just diabolical. It's the greatest masterpiece of Satan. So, you have to be aware of these things. But I think, it would be nice to clean Denmark up, and do some iconoclasm, destroy some buildings, and build some new ones to where we can actually study the scriptures, where we have, room, a good room without any images and all that, and, with, the scriptures at the center, and places where people can study, and places where people can sleep in the night if they are homeless or don't have any food and all that. I think that should be the things that is in a meeting house of Jehovah, to teach and instruct and become more like Jesus Christ, And, who knows, some people might actually just want to be, do the Lord's, go out and spread the good news and all that, and might, and if they don't have any place to live and all that, they should still be, it would be nice for the society to actually support these people, because the gospel is very, very important, and we cannot lose truth. And if anyone wants to go out and spread truth, and we should support them, because there's a lot of lies and deceptions out there, and they should be, a servant is what's it called? The servant is in regards to the food, right? The servant is in regards of, I can't remember, in regards to the food and all that. So I think it would be a nice thing from society if we have people that just wants to do, go out and spread the good news, that the church buildings could also be able to actually support these people that, do it, that gives their life for doing that. Yeah, that's... and of course, other people that have problems in society as well. And of course, all these idols should of course be destroyed, because we cannot have idolaters that just bow down in front of idols and all that. We know that judgment is coming in the future, and God is telling us in the book of Revelation why these things are happening, that they don't want to turn away from the idols, they don't want to turn away from the lies and this, deception. I can't remember, but it's in the list of Revelation. I think it's twice, it talks about things why, and they didn't want to turn away. They are still worshiping the devil. This is not a democracy. This is not, I'll believe this and you'll believe that and all that, and it all leads to God and all that. That is utterly bullshit. And we're not all children of God. So, yeah. So it would be nice to see some things, where we have fallen so far. And here we see this new version of the Bible, where they have, not only ruined the name, they don't even have the name in that version, but not only that, they also took out the title away. I have to wonder, what kind of people are these people? Oh, yeah, but they are the educated experts and all that. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, something is fishy if you not only take the name of God out, and replaces it with a title, but also takes out the title so you don't even know the name is there, and then mistranslate Elohim to God instead of gods, plural. But anyway, it's just incredible. What are these people, Who are they working for, If you're taking the name of God out of the Bible, something is wrong, And these so-called experts, is that what you call experts? You got to be kidding me. No, that's just, they're wasting, what are they wait? I don't understand. I really don't understand. Why use time on making a new translation if you're not going to fix the issues and you have had 500 years to do it. 500 years, and it's not like there hasn't been anyone telling you about it, right? But anyway, I should get going on in regards of a translation myself, I guess. But, just annoying with these people, Oh, we got a new version and all that. Well, you don't even have the name, in the Bible, It's just, that's so dishonest, so disgusting, so wicked, so diabolical, so satanic, Yeah, but we are the experts. Hey, you removed the name of God nearly 6,000 times just in the Old Testament. So-called Old Testament, in the Tanakh, and so do you need to be brainwashed at these universities or something like that? All these priests that are coming out from education and all that, what are you teaching these people? Because it seems like they're just totally nonsensical, when you're talking to them. They don't know much, it seems, That's just. So what are they doing at the university, becoming you have people that don't even believe in God. You have Freemasons in the churches. You have, they don't even talk about the Antichrist anymore. I remember talking to one of them. It was not that important, in regards to who the Antichrist was. Not that important. What are you talking about? It's pretty much nearly whole foundation, of course, in regards to Jesus Christ, but in regards of the foundation of the movement moving as it did, because they found out who the Antichrist was according to the scriptures, and so they protested against this system and rejected the Roman emperor as the head of Christianity. That's the whole concept of releasing, and getting us away from this wicked system, So not important, and it's just I don't know, it's just I'm getting so tired, Anyway, no one wants to listen anyway nowadays. And people become angry, it's incredible. Denmark is, when it was in Israel, at least people, it seems that it's worse in Denmark in regards to people, we are really in bad shape. On the surface, it looks good, right? But when you begin to dig into it, you find out it's just, stinking crap everywhere, and it's very sad. There's still some people out there that, that respond to the truth. Hopefully a whole movement would start up here in Denmark in regards of the truth. In any case, it's very sad. I don't know. I really don't know what to overly do, and there's so many things that we have forgotten and this and that. It's just overwhelming in some sense. So I really hope that a lot of more people are waking up. And it's not really, it's not really that hard in regards of, in regards to the festivals, in regards to the Bible. It's just to return to the festivals of the Bible, not Christmas or Yule or Easter and Halloween and all that. That's pagan bullshit, and Sunday pagan bullshit, Let's just go back to the Bible. It shouldn't be that difficult. People want to make it very difficult, I guess because they're serving Satan, and that's just how it is. There's two teams out there in the world, and either you are on, one or the other. There's no neutral ground here, because neutral is working for the devil, If you're neutral, you are on the devil's team, That's just how it is, you know. So again, you're either working for one or you're working for the other, you know. Atheists, for example, believing atheists usually also believe in evolution. Evolution is a pagan doctrine in regards, it's bullshit and all that. But anyway, but they might not believe in Satan, but they're doing his work, you know. And I guess it's a win-win situation for Satan because they're doing his work and yet they're not even believing in him. So, it's a win-win situation for Satan, you know. So yeah, it's interesting. Well, it's very sad. It's very sad. Anyway, I think we should bulldoze all the mosques in Denmark, and including the Roman Catholic churches and also the Lutheran churches as well. I think would be a pretty good idea, and then build some good building. I'm thinking that we could maybe get some stones from Jerusalem. Talk to Israel about, talk to the Jews about getting some stones. Then you don't need to have so much heating in the building either, because as I understand it, big stones have a way up. But anyway, you would need to talk to some engineers in regards to that and figure out things and all that. Get some clever people, some experts in their fields, and talk to them about things and all that. And I'm thinking like in a square, flat building, and in regards of a room for the scriptures and all that, and no images or anything like that, just clean, sterile, clean and all that. And then of course room for studying the scriptures, some computers in regards of all the biblical stuff and books and all that people can come, and if they want to study, they can go there primarily to study the scriptures, and of course places for people to sleep in the night and get some food and all that. And I think that would be a pretty good starting point for, and of course rejecting the cookie Jesus. What is that bullshit? I have to be kidding me. Yeah. Anyway, and all that Sunday bullshit as well, stop with that, It's Saturday. Saturday is, and if we want to be totally correct, it's from Friday sundown to Saturday sundown. That is the 7th day of the week that is made, holy, that is set apart, sanctified and all that. And, how hard can it be? We just need to do things, instead of just, keeping to these bullshit traditions that we have. And begin to count to 50 in regards of Shavuot, or the festival of weeks, and keep the real Passover and the 7 days of unleavened bread. And that's the spring festivals, and then keep the fall festivals and all that. In regards to the Day of Trumpets, the Day of Atonement, and of course the Festival of Sukkot. So it shouldn't be that hard to instruct the people in the right direction. Of course, no shop in Denmark should be open on the Sabbath. Every shop on Saturday should be closed. Every single thing that should be closed on Saturday. So, and of course, we need to fix a day in one direction in regards to the weekly thing and all this. Where Saturday becomes the last day of the week instead of Sunday, which Saturday has. It was changed in 1973 by man-made decree in regards of Saturday. The 7th day became the 6th day, and the first day became the last day. So Sunday, the venerated day of the sun god Sol Invictus is the first day. In regards of the pagan New Year as well, that is in regards to the false god Janus, which looks in both directions in regards to January, in regards to the month named after him. The real New Year begins in spring. And actually we are closing for the biblical New Year in regards to the moon, in regards to the new moon and month and all that, in regards to the month following the moon, and not this sun calendar, this Roman sun calendar we have at the moment. Yeah. Come on, people. Come on, care just a little for the truth, We're selling our children over to the devil, and no one of you are doing anything about it. It's no one speaking up about it. No one speaking about who is Jesus Christ and who is the Antichrist. Now people are seeking union with the Antichrist again. I don't know. I'm kidding. I guess I'm kidding. I'm getting to. I don't know. I just. I don't know what to do anymore. Well, I guess. Well, there's always things to do, right? But it does seem. I don't know. It's really, 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 really sad. Really sad. And it just seems to be getting worse and worse and worse. And the people working for the devil are, obstructing the movement in the right direction on so many levels, are blocking, people from, and, the truth are getting censored on the internet, removed from the internet, on so many levels. And very, very sad to see that these platforms out there, internet platforms, are, for example, I have a video in regards of Google, YouTube, Google. Apparently they what do you call it? Paid, what do you call it? You have the right wingers, and then you have the other wingers, whatever. And can't remember what they're called, but they paid those that are not right wingers to, clean up, things, and they did a really good job at closing a lot of the truth, I have, in regards of Google and YouTube and all that, zero trust in those, no trust in Microsoft, in Facebook, or maybe it should be called AdBook, or Lootbook, what was it called? Facebook, no. Yeah, AdBook, AdBook. That's advertising everywhere, and if you have Firefox, you're not getting the quality of the images on your mobile. What is that bullshit? And in regards of this new thing where they're destroying the links that you're posting on Facebook, isn't that interesting? Well, the sun is really getting. Oh, let's just move this a little here. There we go. So they're really, if you're taking a link on Facebook now, and we can just have a look here. I guess I really have gotten a lot of spots, after the explosion. I was really, really white beforehand. I didn't have those spots, But anyway, guess it could be worse. But yeah, it's very sad. Anyway, we're going to the grave, everybody, So anyway, now of course, as you can see, the images on this is very bad, and that's because of Facebook, of course, of AdBook, and they sucks totally. And I'm really close of actually just closing all connection with Facebook, making one last I'm thinking of making one last mess, I don't know but I'm thinking about it, that I could make a last message on Facebook and then just leave it totally, because it's only the years has passed down, and it's only getting worse and worse and worse. Of course, the only problem is it is working like a diary, and it has been working like a diary for many, many years. But overall, it's I don't really have much contacts, and again, you're wasting a lot of time. It was a stupid choice to get on Facebook, I guess, but well, one way, I still have a lot of it's like a diary, I guess, again, so there's a lot of information in regards of my trip into the occult and out of the occult and all that and whatever. But yeah, what was I looking for? Oh yeah, in regards to the links, right? Okay, so let's find the link in regards of, here we go. Let's see if it will destroy that. This is a link from a former Roman Catholic, and again, the quality of the browser of Facebook is very bad because of Facebook. Because if I actually go on Chrome, Google did the same thing in regards of Google. They seem to have stopped with it, but I guess this this picture is probably just bad quality overall. So that might be a bad, I guess a bad example here. But if you take this and look at the other one here and go up, the quality is much better in regards of Chrome. And you can also see the images that it's actually using is, you can actually see that it's different sizes and all that. I've made test, and I only saw this or figured this out because there was some cartoons that I couldn't read. I couldn't read them because I was using a browser that was based on Firefox, and thereby Facebook was feeding my browser bad images. And the only way I can get good images is to either make Facebook believe that the Firefox browser is another browser, or use Chrome. This is disgusting. This shouldn't be done, and it is done, and it's disgusting. Let's see in regards of the link. You can see the link here, YouTube channel and UC key and all that. Let's see if there's coming this Facebook bullshit on the link. We probably need to turn the mobile around here a little and see what happens, and see if it actually had put its Facebook bullshit on, and looks like it. Let's see. Okay, it's a little hard to, let's see, going back, there we go. Can you see, from there on, we have a question mark, and then we have FBCLID. From this point off, from this point, and all this bullshit, this is Facebook. The whole line of this is Facebook. So the standard link that was easy to, that was an easy link, well, at least compared to before, is now full of bullshit, It's now full of this bullshit. And as I understand it, is in regards of advertising and probably, some kind of spying bullshit. But in any case, the problem, of course, with this adding is that it also breaks things on the internet. And again, and this should never be done anyway. Why would Facebook ever toy around with my link when I post it, So this is another bullshit thing, and of course one can look things up in regards of FCLID on, and there we go in regards to more of the coronavirus. Italy confirms almost 200 deaths in 24 hours. Maybe you should try giving them some colloidal silver, Anyway. Some vitamin C and some beta glucan, Well, I guess we can, and give them some good nutritious food, Look at some of the food that they're giving old people, That's just horrendous, absolutely horrendous, Anyway, so let's see FB Glid, and actually, I'm not sure I should be doing this on the Sabbath actually, but. Here we go with the new Facebook parameter, and it puts it in there, and some people, you can find information of what it is in regards of, advertising, and so I'm not sure. This is a Danish site in regards of how you remove it from. That's in regards of removing it from Google. Analytics, and of course analytics, that's again Google bullshit, so where you can do spying on what is happening on your webpage and what people are doing, and I get the idea that it might be nice to see what people, but still it's it's just feeding down in the Google collecting thing, so they're just it's bullshit. It's just bullshit. I really, if it hadn't been because I started using it in the past, I would never have, all these crazy daisy things would absolutely have never made me, start using Facebook. And as far as I remember, there was no advertising in the beginning. So, and then, as far as things had moved forward, things just becomes worse and worse and worse. You see censoring in regards of different ways, and yeah, well, it's a bullshit platform, and I would never ever have been yeah. So, but anyway, that's how it is, I guess. So I'm thinking of just dropping it totally. I don't have that many connections anyway on Facebook, so it doesn't really matter much in any case. But it would release a lot of time for other things for sure. Because I can't really bother with all these stupidities that they're doing. And again, it's just continuing and continuing and continuing with stupidity. So, and advertising, of course, as well. Advertising after advertising after advertising. It's just. So yeah. Anyway. So we have the Bible. I should probably, that's just. We have some Greek. Enahi en o logos kai o logos en pros ton theon kai theos en o logos. That's, I had some past practicing and all that. I still can remember that. And then it begins to become hard, Auto in ahi pros ton theon. Penta di autoi eganito kai exori. I can't remember. I haven't practiced that much. It's better with the Hebrew. But see here, Hebrew, Bereshit bara Elohim et hashemayim ve'et haaretz. Ve'haaretz hayita tohu ve'vohu ve'chosech al penei tehom ve'ruach Elohim merachefet al penei hamayim. Vayomer Elohim yehi or vayhi or. Vaya Elohim et haor ki tov. Vayavdel Elohim bein haor uvein hachosech. Vayikra Elohim laor yom velachosech kara laila vayhi erev vayhi voka yom echad. Now, of course, you do have the help in regards to the English underneath it, which of course is nice when you are. And of course, you have the Strongs and all that. It's wonderful. Anyway, I should stop and enjoy the last part of the Sabbath here and I guess I'm just talking. Anyway, may Jehovah be with you and Yeshua be your most precious pearl and the Spirit of truth be in us all. Amen. Have a good one. Oops.